Oh, hello there. My name is Satch. I'm with Team Sage. Here at Team Sage, we deliver excellent agile solutions. That's our promise to you. I want to invite you to take a look at our Wellmeadows Hospital database application program. I think you'll find it the perfect solution for your database issue. Let's go over some of the highlights. Number one, our application is fully web-based. You can be anywhere in the hospital, and depending on your security level, you can create, maintain, and query the database. Now let's talk about security. We know that security is a big issue nowadays. Well, guess what? Our application has that covered. We offer encrypted passwords, and our developers have set up different levels of authentication and authorization. Let me tell you about some of the technical specifications of our solution. Our solution is built on a C# MVC framework and employs jQuery and Ajax. Our database is built on the MS SQL server, and to provide you analytical reports and graphs and any other questions that you may have, to provide you those answers, we built a cube in SSAS. You must be asking yourself, how did we get you such a great solution in such a short period of time? Well, let me tell you what. We employed an agile methodology. We broke up our working solutions into 3 iterations. At Team Sage, excellence and agile solutions is our standard. Let me introduce you to team member Andrew. Andrew's going to take us through some of the project management knowledge areas.
Thank you, Satch. Our experienced team of developers completed the Wellmeadows Hospital Administration System within 6 weeks as promised. Team Sage are not new kids on the block. We have experience in defining a scope and sticking to it. We achieved this by extensive interviewing, planning, and reviewing. Strict quality assurance and quality control practices specified in the project document were followed throughout this project. We've been in contact throughout the past 6 weeks with you, stakeholders, and our only hope is that you'll enjoy using this application as much as we have enjoyed developing it for you. We designed this application with the total cost of ownership in mind, making economical use of enterprise resource planning and integrating resources into one central and online location. As mentioned before, Team Sage is a geographically dispersed software development team. In order to communicate as a proper team, disciplined agile methodology was used, with each member delegating himself a portion of the work. Team meetings were held regularly, 2 times a week, using online video conferencing tools to bring together every team member's contribution for that week. We were happy to report that any risks encountered during the development of the project were mitigated and have been taken care of before delivering it to you. Procurement for the project was cut and dry. We were provided with all of the necessary Microsoft development tools and 4 eager project team members to complete it.
Alright, let me introduce you to team member Destin. Destin's going to take you through the web application.
Thanks, Ash. Now let's see the application in action.
Let's do a quick walkthrough of registering a new patient and admitting them to the hospital. As we make our way to the Wellmeadows web application, we can see that we're presented with an easily identifiable login interface. We will log in with the credentials we were originally set up with in the Add a Staff screen. We are greeted with a welcome screen and an easily identifiable menu on the top of the page with major categories including patient, staff, wards, stock, prescription, and other features. As we hover over any section of the menu, we see subcategories that direct us to particular pages within the application. As you can see, we have the page subdivided into sections using an accordion-type interface to easily separate sections and allows us each section to expand and contract. For this presentation, we have a new patient named Tammy Johnson that is being referred to our hospital by a local doctor. We will fill in Tammy's information as follows. Notice that if the local doctor's office does not contain a doctor within our application, we have an option to add the doctor's information to associate with this future patient and to have this doctor for future references as well. We will now click the link and fill in the local doctor information. As we are redirected back to the Add a Patient screen, Notice the information we filled out is still there and has not been altered. We will choose the newly appointed doctor and schedule the appointment. Next, we will need to conduct the initial appointment for our patient. This page layout shows patient name, date, and time of appointments. To continue our scenario, we will click Tammy Johnson. It will automatically send us to the next section. Within here, if we want to update the appointment, we can do it within this section. For now, we will click Conduct Appointment, and it will bring us to the next section to decide if the patient will be entered in as outpatient, inpatient, or discharged. We will click Inpatient and select the correct ward and their planned exit date and submit the examination. We will then receive a success message. After an initial appointment has been conducted, we then see that the patient, Mrs. Johnson, is automatically put in the waiting list to be entered into a bed. Within this page, we can change the ward that they are assigned and choose a bed to assign them at any time. When we decide to assign a bed, it will dynamically list all the beds within the corresponding ward. Now, we will click the Update button and assign her to that bed. After we update the patient, we will receive a success message and notice that the patient is removed from the waiting list and now is listed as a current inpatient, with which we can update and change her bed anytime needed. Great! Our patient is thus far gone through an examination process, been placed in a waiting ward, assigned a bed in particular ward, and is now being taken care of. One of our patient's health issues are macular degeneration. The doctor has prescribed our patient with pegaftinib, and as a charge nurse, it is our job to ensure that the prescription is recorded in the system and that the supply is sufficient. We go to the prescription screen and click Prescription Information. We choose our patient, find the correct drug, and create their prescription. Great! Our prescription has been submitted to the system. Next, we will see if we have available supply in that ward to fill that prescription. Unfortunately, we do not have that drug in stock and will have to requisition it from the supply. We will simply go to the Create a Requisition screen. Notice we have a drop-down list of items to choose from. We simply find our drug, select our ward, enter in the quantity needed, and click Add Item to Requisition. As you will notice, we have a list box that gets filled and can request multiple items in a requisition. So let's add another item that we may be needing. Great, now we can see our list of items and the quantity we are requesting. Next we will create requisition and can see a success message that pops up. Let's check to see if our requisition is now available. Wow! Our supply management staff are quite quick at delivering supplies in a timely manner. We can see that the request we put in today is already available for me, the charge nurse, to sign. We will click our delivered requisition and validate that our expected items show up on the list box on the right. We will then sign digitally and submit our e-signature. Great! Our supply is now available to administer. Now we will go back and administer the prescription to the patient. Great! Now we can see the history of prescriptions that have been filled, including the ones we just administered. At this point, we have successfully admitted Mrs. Johnson and walked through a few sample events.
You want reporting? We have reporting. Let me introduce you to team member Scott to take you over that piece.
Thanks, Satch. Let's take a look and do a quick run through on our database and data warehouse features.
We'd like to give a brief overview of the database design that supports the Wellmeadows hospital system. The transactional and data warehouse tables are located in the same system, with the data warehouse tables being prefixed with the letters DW. Your operations team should also find this of interest. We've designed the database to be fairly self-documenting. As you can see here, we've built diagrams of the existing database and the data warehouse that can be accessed at any time. We've also built tables with documentation where you can take a simple query like this one and generate a data dictionary, all maintained within the database itself and ready for export into Excel. Both of these features require very little effort to maintain as you add new tables or columns to your database. This will make it easier for your operations team to take over support of this system.
Okay, now let's dive in real quickly and look at SSAS and our analysis services and how we built our cube.
Here you can see that we've connected to analysis services, and I'm going to bring up a representation of our data warehouse as a cube. Clicking on the browser, I can walk through the measures that we've pre-built, and we can drill into the patient stay fact to bring up stay duration. At this level, it's representing a sum of all the patient stays in the database at one glance. But by drilling into the patient dimension, bringing in the clinic number, the doctor's first name, and the doctor's last name, we can see which clinics are referring the patients who have stayed the longest. We've also built a document that will walk you through several sample scenarios highlighting the information that you can build on the fly to answer business questions as they arise. By connecting Excel to analysis services, you can produce different graphs, charts, and grids to help tell the story of the question that you're analyzing.
Finally, let's put it all together and see how our reporting services came out.
You can go to the Other menu and select the Reports submenu to access the Reports page. Here you see two accordions with options for General Reports and Decision Support Reports. The functionality of these two sections are very similar in that you pick a report that you want to see. In this case, we'll pick the Employee Salary Rank Report and click the Generate Report button. The system will return an Excel file that you can either save or open. In this case, we're going to open the report and see the results. Once the report is open in Excel, you can perform any of the normal Excel functions that you wish. As an example, we are going to sort by global rank to see our highest paid employees. This concludes our demonstration of the reporting features.
This is your Team Sage project team.
I'm Scott.
I'm Satch.
I'm Destin.
And I'm Andrew.
Ladies and gentlemen, that takes us to the conclusion of our presentation of the Wellmeadows application. We hope and we strongly believe this application is the answer for you. I'll be going inside now because it is really, really cold.